Hi, and welcome to CEI in the News. Today is February 19th, 2010. I'm your host, Greg Conco.
And I'm Nicole Chandela with a brief summary of some of CEI's recent appearances in the media.
Starting us off, NASA finally surrendered to Chris Horner's Freedom of Information Act request for documents relating to temperature data collection. It only took 2.5 years and the threat of a lawsuit, but I'm sure the folks at NASA assumed Chris was like them and would be happy to work on a never-ending project with few results. Turns out, Chris isn't like them, though. He's now reviewing the documents and blogging about his findings at Pajamas Media. It's gotten extensive coverage in the Wall Street Journal, Denver Post, Houston Chronicle, the UK's Guardian, and plenty of other news outlets.
Since global warming is going to kill us all, you'd think people wouldn't have to invent new problems to worry about. But guess what? According to the FDA, certain plastics, which we've been using for nearly 100 years, may have been killing us this whole time. Last month, the FDA announced it had some concern about BPA, a chemical used in everything from baby bottles to canned food. Now several states are prepping legislation to ban the substance. To combat this hysteria, CEI's Angela Logomassini has released a study on the science behind the scare, which was covered in the Wall Street Journal and elsewhere. As Angela discussed on the G. Gordon Liddy Show, it turns out that BPA has mostly been tested on rats, who have trouble digesting BPA. Shockingly, humans are actually a little different than rats. We apparently digest BPA quite well. So if you're a mother considering buying glass bottles instead of plastic for your newborn baby, please think twice. Unless, of course, you suspect your child is part rat.
On other fronts, CEI's Michelle Minton discussed auto insurance regulation in an op-ed in the Detroit News. Lee Doran described how misleading interpretations of scientific research spread through the mainstream media in a Daily Caller article. And Ian Murray addressed the climate confusion campaign in a column for National Review.
Also, John Berlau wrote about bank-busting regulations for the Washington Examiner, and my co-host Greg Conco wrote about the insurance industry's limited exemption from federal antitrust rules in the Washington Times with our colleague Kevin Hilferty. William Yateman was on Fox Business February 17th to discuss the recent defection of firms from the U.S. Climate Action Partnership. Here's the clip.
Well, I think it's a broader judgment on congressional energy policy making. These companies are industrial energy suppliers and users, so why would they lobby? Why would they lobby on behalf of the U.S. Climate Action Partnership for legislation, cap and trade, that raises the price of energy? Well, the answer is they thought they could rig the game. They thought they could write the legislation and thereby tilt the market in their favor, the energy market. Okay. To a certain extent, they were correct. The problem is, over the next 6 weeks, to buy off enough votes within their own caucus to pass the legislation within the House of Representatives, the bill increased by 1,000 pages worth of special favors and giveaways to every conceivable special interest.
Will is actually with us now to discuss CEI's lawsuit against the Environmental Protection Agency with General Counsel Sam Kasman. Will?
This past Tuesday, the Competitive Enterprise Institute filed a lawsuit to overturn the EPA's economically ruinous decision to regulate greenhouse gases to stop so-called global warming. With me today is CEI General Counsel Sam Kasman. Sam, why did CEI take this action?
6 months ago, the case against so-called global warming was already on incredibly shaky grounds. But since then, between ClimateGate and even more recent revelations about the lack of any alleged peer review, that case has fallen totally to pieces.
Thank you, Sam. Back to you, Greg.
That's it for this week. Thanks for watching CEI in the News. Please subscribe to our channel, and remember, links to all the stories we discuss can be found in the description box to the right of the screen.
This week's CEI in the News was brought to you by Red Hot Lies and The Frankenfood Myth, both available on Amazon.com.